extremely important the way we're gonna now build our logic for the register view controller page. In case if you have seen, or for those who are using or the active user of the Facebook app on your iOS, so the app is designed in the following way. So this is our project. Let's say we are now running our app, which is a Facebook. Let's say we want to register a new account. We click register new account page and it throws you to the register page. So in the real app of Facebook, we see that page which tells us what's your email address. So when we fill in our email address and we click continue, it will throw us, or it will slide, very important, it will slide to another page or part of the page which will ask you what's your name. When we write the first name and last name and click next, it throws us, or it slides to another page which is create a password. We do the same, it slides to a next one, what's your birthday. We select the birthday, then it slides to the next one, what's your gender. Okay, excellent. So the reason why I placed these icons in horizontal line, not vertical line, because from first to the fifth one, it got slide. So for example, when we are on email address, when we click, let's say next, from the where you see my arrow now, so this part, a second part, appears from the right and it just got slided to the user. So to do this technique, or and to use the same logic, there are two ways. So I will ask you what's the way number one which comes first in your mind, and I'm giving you 5 seconds and we will see where you're right or not. Okay, so in case if you have replied that the way number one will be to use page view controller, you are right. The way number one is to use the object or the logic of the page view controller. If you drag it here, it will have, let's say, 3 view controllers under it. So from 1 to 1, it will have a slide effect. But this logic is quite complicated because of the only reason. Let's say if we use page controller for every single page, we must be creating a dedicated class, and it's not an easy and not practical to pass information from one class to a second one. But you may ask, why do we need to pass information from first page to a second one? Because when we when we type, for example, the email address and then we click next, with the case of page view controller, we are leaving the first page a first view controller, and we are presenting a second view controller. In this case, we will have to pass the information of the first view controller to a second view controller, then pass this both information to a third view controller, then do it till we reach fifth view controller, and finally we will have to gather all the data from all the pages and we will have to send it to the server. So this way it's quite and terribly complicated. So we will use another way, and for the beginners or the average programmers, I will now show maybe something which you have never seen before. So I select now the view controller Sen, and the logic we're going to create is, I'll try to show you with on a slide. Let's say this is a page, or this is the size of the screen. This is, let's say, this is your device. This is your device. And what we will be doing, or how we will build the logic, let's say in Facebook app, I'll tell you now. For example, I'll select this color. So this is, let's say, your device. Okay, so the logic works as we are just moving. For example, this is first page where it tells you write your email address. This is second one when it tells you write your password. This is the third one when it tells you write your first and last name. This is last one when, for example, it tells you select your gender. So this is exactly what we're gonna do. We will just create a very large view controller with a very large width. We will allocate all the elements on this view controller and we will just pass it to the user. Okay, so to make it clear for you, I'll write here, I will try to create here some illustrative text fields. Let's say something like this. This will be email, this will be your password whatsoever. This will be your, again, whatsoever, and here we go. So first we'll show to the user. First, for example, let's say we'll show to the user, or let me keep it 3. First, let's say we'll show to the user register your email address, then we'll show to the user type your password, then we'll tell him type your uh, type your, let's say, select your gender. So this is the way which I prefer to use, and let me explain you the way number 1 which we said using the page view controller. So page view controller is when, for example, this is the page. I'll create a page for you. This is the one, let's say. This is the first page of the page view controller. This is the second one. This is a third one. So it will show to the user first page. Then when, let's say, when we will be going to, when we're done with this page, it will just simply leave it and it will show another one. So in this case, we'll have to save the information on the first page. When we finish with the second page, it will simply dismiss it and present another one. So in all of these cases, we'll have to save all the information from each page, which is quite complicated. Not to build, complicated as the logic itself. Okay, so in this case, we'll create a large width for this view controller. So total, as you see, we have 5 pages to be shown to the user, where we have email, full name, password, date of birth, and the gender. So it means we'll have to create 5 times more larger width. Okay, select your view controller by clicking this yellow button, or on the left panel by clicking yellow button here. Go to the here size, simulated size, here write freeform, so means we can now play with this. As you see, the default width of the screen, of this particular screen, which is suitable, let's say for iPhone 8 for example, is 375 pixels. So 375 pixels multiplied by 5, it will be 1875. So I write here 1875. So we see that our width got really extended. Okay, so our width got really extended, but here is something. I think we need to multiply it by 4, not by let's say 8. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's correct. Everything is done correctly. So yeah, and as I told you, as we will be scrolling the page through the main screen, for the scroll purpose, we definitely would need a scroll view object. So this is our view controller, which is our register view controller. To let it be scrollable, I would here find a new object, which is a scroll view. So simply left mouse click, drag this object to your view controller, make sure that X and Y is on 0 positions, and we will stretch it accordingly to our view controller scene. Okay, here we go. So we have now created a scroll view. The scroll view, it only allows us to scroll, nothing else. Then we need to put here a content view, which will be storing other views. Right here, UI view. This is the one. The white object, we will put it as a mother view. So simply left mouse click, drag this into scroll view. So first we have a register VC, a default view, then we have a scroll view, then we have a content view which stores all the object inside the scroll view. Okay, we'll simply left mouse click and drag. Here we go. So here we are done. Now we need to create alignment for this. For that purpose, I will select the scroll view from the left panel. We'll call alignment 0, 0, 0, 0. Then we need to do the same with the content view. We're calling 0, 0, 0, 0. And let's try to select width and height, for example. Okay. So excellent. So we have done the alignment for our scroll view. As the next step, we will be now working on each page, on creating each page. So we have now approximately determined the logic that we will be using to recreate the same user interface as used by Facebook. Now let's go into the scroll view. Now let's dive into more deeper details. Let's move.